Before we start, if you have a smartphone and you have Facebook on your phone, there's an event on Facebook called Laity Sunday at First Church. I want you to get your phones out and check into the service, take a picture and post it. Okay, it's real easy. You just open up Facebook, it'll ask you, if you want to say something, and you click on it, and there's a button that says check in. And if you click that, the laity event should come up. It may say it's 90 feet away, but the truth is it's right here. So you're all in the right place, and I thank you for coming. So before we start, I'd like to ask you all to join me in the spirit of prayer. We are gathered here together in the midst of this beautiful building to worship together. Let us remember all the people in our lives, our ancestors, grandparents, aunts and uncles, mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, cousins and spouses. Let us also remember our sons and our daughters and nieces and nephews, and our family, friends, co-workers, and especially our community members. And to quote one of my personal heroes, always remember you have within you the strength, the patience, the passion to reach for the stars and to change the world. Amen. Amen. So the theme that we've been doing lately is mending, and we've got a nice installation that reminds us of all of that. And the scriptures today talk about that. In Jeremiah, the last verse says, "To seek the welfare of the city where I have sent you into exile, and pray to the Lord on its behalf, for in its welfare you will find your welfare." Well, I'm originally from Ohio, and I don't really think of being exiled into Windsor, but I do live here now, and it's a great place to live. So, the idea of praying for, your community is in the scriptures, and I think it's something that we could probably do a little bit more. Last week's scriptures was the one about, loving your neighbor as yourself. And there's a lot of value in that. And I think that just in my lifetime, in the last 20 years even, we are not as connected of a community as we have been. We have our face buried in screens and stuff like that. And where we used to get out and actually talk to our neighbors, we might not do that as much as we used to. And in our second scripture, Romans, it ends with, "Welcome one another, therefore, just as Christ has welcomed you, for the glory of God." And I always wonder, how welcoming are we to our neighbors? Do we know our neighbors by name? I actually know mine. I'm not so sure that, everybody does anymore. And, that's something that we talked about recently in our Reaching New People event that we had over in Nelson Hall. One of the things is, they described our church as a castle. And the church is a place where we come, and it's like a fortress, and a castle has a moat around it, and it's hard for new people to get into the castle. And the short version of reaching new people is we have to get out of the castle, we have to be more welcoming, we have to invite people in. And they quoted some statistics about inviting people, and at a cabinet meeting this week, I asked everybody in the cabinet to invite somebody. Personally, I invited about a dozen people. On Facebook, I invited 324. Some of them are here today because of that invitation, and I thank you all for coming. I hope our cabinet invited people, but the number one reason why people join churches is because somebody invites them. The problem is, on average, people only invite other people once every 38 years. And that's, not coming from me, that's the expert that we had to come in. If we want to get new people, we do need to welcome them, and we start welcoming them by asking them to come. And the other thing is to get out into the community. And that's something that, getting out into the community, we do some of that. We go to the Shad Derby, we go to the Northwest Park Fair. That's 2 of over 1,000 events in Windsor. So if you look at the percentages, we have room to do more. And I know that the folks that were there that day have already started to do more. The Board of Christian Education had its meeting over at the Bean, because one of the ideas was, you don't have to have your meetings here in the castle. You can get out into the community, and that's exactly what they did. So I think that's a wonderful thing. Before I got to the pulpit, we did a few things that I think are welcoming. Today is Bible Sunday, and I always enjoy Bible Sunday. When I was growing up, I had a Bible in the church that I went to. My kids got their first Bibles here, and it is so great to see the kids get their Bibles. And that's something that I would challenge each of you, because I'm assuming that everybody has a Bible. Make sure that you get it out and read it, once or twice a week. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. I know that, I know where my Bible is, but more often than not, I read my Bible on my phone because it's easier for me. And, but that works too. And, not only read it, but talk about it. If you're, talking to your friends or coworkers and you read something in the Bible that applies, ask them what they think. Have a conversation. Invite them. I tell people every Sunday morning at 10 a.m., we have a party here at the First Church in Windsor. And people, they do come. So that's something that part of, mending our community is welcoming one another. And the title of my sermon is Mending One Another. It started off as welcoming one another and went through several different versions to fit in with the theme of mending our community. So, it's something that we need to do that, and we need to invite others. If we've got an incredible past, which is great and all that. Personally, I think we have an even more incredible future. If you look to the next generation, the young people that are here today and the people who aren't even born, we have an incredible future ahead of us. We need to be open and welcome the people who come who are not the same as us. And I have a friend that I work with who says, everyone is welcome in our church. He happens to be a minister. He says that about 10 times every time I'm in his church, and he means it. And he's a pretty incredible guy, and it gives me hope that there are people in our world like that. And we have people here that are like that as well. And I encourage all of you to invite people, invite them for next Sunday, and then when you see them in 2 weeks, invite them for the Sunday after that, and keep inviting them. In sales work, the general rule of thumb is you have to ask somebody at least 7 times before they're going to say yes. And if we're only asking people once every 38 years, I'm not sure what 7 times 38 is, but we're not asking nearly often enough. So that's something that I'd like all of us to do more. The slideshow, especially of the water that was shown here, I'm thinking that we had to cut that off early. We didn't see the whole show. There were a lot of cool places that we went, over this last summer, and I hope we get a chance to not only see it again, but to talk about it a little bit. I know that in talking with some of the people who have gone places, our youth service trip went to the border of Mexico, and if you've never been there, and I never have, the pictures I saw from our youth were the first pictures I ever saw of the border of U.S. and Mexico. And the fence goes out into the Pacific Ocean. You can see the end of it, but it goes out far enough that, to keep people from swimming from Mexico to America. And that's something that, that's what our country does to keep people out. We have very visible, real fences in many places. On the highways, we have checkpoints and border crossings. And in our church, we don't have those visible barriers. But what do we have? Why don't people come? Do we have, figurative fences that keep people out? And I think maybe we do. And I think the biggest one is we don't invite people. So, let's invite people and, be welcoming. One of the other things that I've been doing lately is working on a vision team and implementation team. And I think everybody's heard about the values that we determined as a group in there. Transformational worship, hands-on mission, fellowship, social justice, reaching new people, and creating alignment. These are things that, a lot of these things we've been doing for many years. Some of them, we've upped our game a little bit. On the transformational worship, I think we've seen some very tangible differences. And if you look around, you can't help but see them here today. And that's something that, we are going forward. The hands-on mission. We had 2 mission service trips last year. One went out to California and one went down to Puerto Rico. Next year, we're planning 2 as well. And that's something that, if you don't know about those, ask around. There's probably 30, 35 people between the 2 trips that have done something, going outside and providing some service. Social justice, that's something that we've tried to up the bar on, and I think we're succeeding. We live in a world that's not very just. And that's something that the scriptures today speak to that. Be a good part of your community, be a good neighbor, pray for the people around you. All of that stuff is important. What I've also come to learn is that, in addition to our core values and aspiration values, we have something that we've termed shadow values, because these things kind of snuck up on us and they weren't part of the survey or anything, or maybe a person or 2 would list them, but they didn't make the top list. Things like maintaining our building, paying salaries, gas bill, electric, trash, stuff like that. Those you're not going to see in our mission statement. The main purpose of the First Church in Windsor is not to pay the gas bill. The main purpose is to, spread the good news and do social justice and stuff like that. But without those shadow goals, we can't do our real work. And that's something that there's a lot of folks involved on places like the Prudential Board who take care of things pretty much behind the scene. And because of our campus, we have a lot of things to take care of. And I don't see Barry today, but you know, he's done a great job along with the rest of the committee, and I want to thank them for taking care of that, because if we don't take care of that stuff, we can't do the other stuff that we want to do so much. I spoke a little bit about our youth, and I believe that the next generation of young people out there are going to be a pretty incredible group of people. When I was young, I was part of the first generation who grew up in front of a TV, not around the radio. And those are two very different experiences. Well, you know, the kids today, not only do they have TV, they have, you know, 400 or 500 different channels that they can tune into. They can get programming on demand. They don't just have 3 channels and have to, if they miss it one time, they have to wait till it comes on again, which might be 2 years later. I think what that has done is it has given young people a lot more information at a much younger age. And that has good points and bad points. One of the things it does is if a young person doesn't believe you, they'll get out their phone and they'll go to one of their friends, probably Mr. Google. Mr. Google's a very intelligent being and knows quite a bit. And people will Google search and will find answers, you know, during meetings, you know, during conversations. And I mentioned something, I was going to lunch with a coworker on a sunny day. We opened up the car and it was all hot inside, and I mentioned something about, yeah, that's just the greenhouse effect. And she said, Charlie, that's wrong. The greenhouse effect isn't your car, that's the planet. And she proceeded to look it up and read the definition, and sure enough, she was right. The greenhouse effect applies to the planet. What's happening in the car is similar, but it's not the greenhouse effect. So this group of young people coming up behind us, they're an incredible group. And you know, I look forward to the point in my life where I can sit back and not be doing everything and letting the young people, you know, take the leadership and go forward. And that's something that, you know, I have 2 kids that are 25 and 27, and they drive, so when I go places, I don't have to drive anymore. And as a father who grew up in the days of the minivan, you know, I find that really refreshing that I get to sit in the back seat and they get to do the driving. So that's something that I enjoy as well. So I'd like to thank everybody again, and I do have a closing prayer. I wrote down the important things because I want to get them right. And I want to remind you of the words of Mother Teresa. People are often unreasonable and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of ulterior motives. Be kind anyways. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and true enemies. Succeed anyway. When you spend years building, someone can destroy it overnight. Build anyway. If you are honest, people may cheat you. Be honest anyway. If you find happiness, people may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today may be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give your best anyway. For you see, in the end, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. May the peace of God be with you all. Amen.